The content of this podcast episode comes with a warning. Please note, this podcast episode may touch upon the subject matter of suicide. If you or someone you know is currently considering suicide or is in a crisis, please contact 1-844-437-3247.
Mind, body, and soul. The information is the goal. Try to learn something new without being distracted.
See if we can guess or like, I don't know what the right word is, but what our libraries would be. Because it could be a video store, it could be a whatever.
Oh, that would be fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I add a thing to Kim's question?
Yes.
Can it be what would be your library? And also, this might be too much, but also if you could pick a channel of some kind of life that you could have lived, the best thing that you would think, making a different decision, what you would pick. Is that too much?
Oh my gosh. No. Okay, great.
Too much?
Who's
I
gonna
just
go
think
first?
No, it's good. It'll be
fun.
Okay. Who's gonna go first?
I'll go because I think this
Okay,
is
Meredith.
Have one.
Great.
number one.
Good.
Mine would probably also be a library. It sounds not creative at all, or a used bookstore or something. I read a lot and I like to write as well. So I think that would be, I know it's not creative, but I could just see myself in the library, but spending the rest of eternity in a library sounds great.
You'd never pick a life.
I'd never just been to read all the lives. And then sometimes, I don't know if I want to call this regret, but sometimes I wonder where my life would have gone if I had worked harder in school, spent more time studying and less time partying.
Studying
An
what?
engineer.
Not
What?
just
How much harder could you
She
try?
wants to be in NASA.
right? I did well because I'm good at learning on my own, so I just learn it and do the tests and stuff. But what if I had tried to get the best marks I could, and
You
got,
had
a
the best
scholarship?
marks you could, though.
No, I didn't. I totally slacked off. What if I could get 100% in everything? Where would I have been? What kind of scholarships would I have got? What school would I go to? What kind of career would I have? It'd be interesting to know if I decided to try to tap my full potential, where I would end up.
Where do you think you'd end up? Nora wanted to be, or she thought she wanted to be a glaciologist. Is there an end job that you would have wanted to potentially attain in this?
Do you ever think about being a doctor?
I want to do everything. No. I don't
Would
wanna
you
do
be able to cut people open?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I could do that, but I don't think I'd be interested in it.
think
Not
that's
full time.
Virginia,
only
I don't
if
know.
I
I
was
was
gonna
doing
be a
that
serial
in the
killer.
woods.
Not a
if you want to
doctor.
do that.
Yes, totally.
Yeah.
Virginia, so just so you know, my sister is a professional chemical engineer. So it seems a bit what? Yeah, what are you getting your PhD in something? Is that what?
I did read that. I was on the Book Interrupted website, which is fantastic. So for anyone listening to this podcast, go on that because it was interesting getting to know, having some backstory on the wonderful women. So I did see that. So yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, you're already way up here. So I don't know, yeah.
And then I had a high school English teacher who wanted me to go to university to be a writer. She wanted me to become an author, and I was like, no, I'm going to engineering. But maybe I could have, gone out. I don't know. It's not really a regret. I think I could still write.
I
I'm
feel
just
like
lazy to
your
write a book.
author identity would have happened if you partied more. I don't think that you would have been encouraged to be creative and do something so irresponsible as go into writing if you were getting hundreds since grade 9 or whatever.
I'm getting your message. You're saying that if I want to write a book, I got to start partying more again.
Correct.
Thanks, Kim.
I think you need to increase your. Yeah.
Hit up Leah for the psilocybin.
Then you'll have something to write about. If you
If you
remember.
put all the micro doses together, you could make one hell of a dose.
Where we go?
Yeah, great. Right. So.
My midnight library would probably be a wine cellar.
Oh yes, totally.
And you
Each
drink the
bottle.
stories?
Yeah. And, that'd be amazing. I get
Each
drunk.
one's a
Go to
drunken.
your library.
You have a sip of wine and then you go into the life? That'd be
Yeah.
sweet.
What's your ultimate varietal of wine? What would be that?
Oh my gosh, you can't ask me that. I like
Top
everything.
3.
Well,
your
right now
current
because it's
fave?
summer, I'm obsessed with Mosel Riesling, so German Riesling. dry Riesling, a little bit of residual sugar, beautiful outside on the patio, that kind of thing.
Very summery.
But yeah, for the summer, I could name every situation a different wine. So
God, I want to drink with you, Lindsay.
I can tell you all about it. What I'm now in the like brain mode of like I can tell you what vintages of what Barolos are good and what like
So cool.
and the producer that started the whole thing. Oh, just
We
my
should
brain
do
is
a
so
wine
full.
pairings with Lindsay.
This is amazing.
Episode.
I should
And
do a
you're
little
like,
thing
"Oh,
about
you
Book,
should do
you should
that.
have this wine.
You must.
All right, okay.
Yes.
I'll try to come up with one for the Midnight Library and
Or just for
Yes.
the season. You know what I mean? Like maybe you could make a wine list for season 1 and like
Yeah,
a
that'd
wine
be
list
fun.
for season 2. So you don't have to do it like every week, but like there's a
yeah.
That's awesome.
Right?
How do we
Pair
not think
a
of this
wine with
sooner?
each book.
Kelly, we
Great
have to
idea.
do like a food with it, and you could be like, "Here's the menu for the Midnight Library."
Yeah.
So we could like do the
Yes.
recipe or whatever.
You do the
Maybe that's too much
playlist,
work.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the playlist, but
my
here's your pairing of
God.
food and wine while you're
Yeah.
while you're reading this book.
And then what's your
Any
regret?
regret?
What's your
Yeah.
undoing?
I mean, similar things to kind of what Mare said. I always think it's like, what if I'd become a doctor? What if I'd become, but then I also think like, what if I'd stuck with competitive swimming and been an Olympic, just the same as what Nora did. And then I think, oh, well, what if I'd become a famous movie star and stuck with acting when I was in high school? Or what if I'd written that book and done that? So for me, I can think of like 20. I wish I could just transport myself to all these lives and be like, what would it be like? But I wouldn't be
Taste all
doing it
those
because of
wines.
regrets. Huh?
Yeah,
Just
just
for fun.
curiosity.
Yeah, just
Mm.
curiosity.
What could
I
I have done?
I love the idea of like, I wish that we could just all live our lives like that. Like, oh, I feel like pretending like I'm, a famous movie star today. And then you live it and you're like, oh, that was fun for a day. And now I can go back to my normal life. And
I thought it was interesting in the book too that the big regrets were bigger volumes too, right? So maybe for you, it would be the swimming part too would be the bigger volume, so those are the ones you'd like bang
Yeah,
off first, right? Like
maybe.
try out those lives first or something
Yeah.
like that.
The biggest
Yeah.
bottle of wine.
Yeah, the Mad Wine.
No, the
Maybe more
Jeroboam that we
expensive.
know.
Yeah, she brings
Whole
out the
barrel.
box of wine.
Yeah, box of wine.
There's a straw in the barrel.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
in the whole barrel.
yeah.
Amazing.
No.
Okay.
Okay, who's next?
Okay,
Who's
well,
next?
I can go next.
Yeah, do
So
it.
I think mine would be a bakery.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew
Because
it.
my
Mm.
first job was at a bakery and I was super shy, and the woman who worked was the manager was kind of like the librarian for me, like trying to get me out of my shell. And then also I just love to bake. Like I love baking. So I think it would be bakery. And then I always wondered if I didn't quit ballet. Like I don't have a regret or anything, but when I was younger, I quit ballet. And I wonder if I just stuck with it, like if I would be a dancer.
We should also add on who would be your librarian.
The bakery lady.
The bakery
Yeah,
lady.
Margaret.
Yes,
for
but
me.
Meredith
Margaret.
and Lindsay, who are your
Oh.
librarians, or your librarian and your sommelier.
That's true, indeed. Does it have to be someone that you know, or could it be like a famous wine person?
yeah.
I would
supposed
want.
to be
sure.
someone. I thought it was supposed to be someone who like is
Had an
like your inner
impact.
kindness, right? Is this supposed to be
Yeah.
somebody who?
fair. But I
was kind
really
to
want
you?
this lady named Jancis Robinson to be she's this
Done.
she's a very
Done.
famous wine critic. So I think that would be
Wonderful.
the coolest. I'd be
Mm.
fangirling. No.
I still can't think of one, but I'm going to say one I thought of that might be fun anyways. Mine would be like a board game cafe.
Oh.
And so like you'd have to play different games, I guess. I'm
Oh,
not sure how
fun.
it would work, but that was something I thought of, like that would be kind of cool. And something I'd be curious about is similar to one of Lindsay's, is if I was more serious about like acting and theater or singing or whatever, like pursued that properly instead of just like as a hobby. And I think that my librarian or my board game cafe cashier would be my grade 11 law teacher. He was awesome, and I'd like him to riddle me.
What are your favorite board games? Like what?
I don't even really
What do you
like them.
gravitate?
I don't even care.
Oh.
It's a twist.
Very interesting.
I was not expecting that one at
That's
all.
funny.
Wow.
Big twist.
I like
Right?
to play Change it to like an improv class, and it's a different improv game because I love improv games.
Okay, that's better.
I like any game that anyone teaches me. I don't really have a favorite one, and unless I'm with people who play board games, I don't start the board game playing.
Book interrupted.
Okay, how's this for a random interruption? Can you hear that? I'm not sure if you can hear it, but if you can't, I'll describe it for you. It is bagpipes coming from the distance.
Book interrupted.
So anyone, Kara, Leah, Virginia?
Yep, Leah, you want to go first?
I'll go, but mine's a bummer. Like last time when we started talking about regrets, mine is kind of sad. So whatever, I'll keep it short and sweet. Mine would be a bed. I love being in bed. I love sleeping. I like all of the things bed. So it'd be like, you know, when you go to a hotel and it's like the perfect crisp white sheets and it just like feels so clean and almost smells like you can smell like the Clorox bleach they used on it.
Yeah, I love it.
And like big fluffy pillows and just the warmest, coziest place. And every time you go into new life, you go to sleep. Perfect. And then you just wake up. Yeah. And
so yours would be like
and the tiniest bed.
You'd have to like try out a bunch of different beds.
Like a giant hotel.
Like a Goldilocks.
Yeah, maybe it's just all the
rooms.
different. I do love going to hotels. That's
Yours would be a hotel for sure.
Maybe.
Each room would be like a different kind
and
of
you'd be like, this bed is a
room.
water bed. I hate it or whatever, but you'd have to then go to sleep and experience your life.
Oh yeah.
And your Mrs. M would be the concierge.
Yeah, maybe. I was gonna say my person would be Brutus the dog, who's hopefully not trapped in his own library, because he's just the best sleeping aid on earth. He just puts you right out. He's like, "Yep, it's time to go back to bed. Let's go."
And he can't riddle you because he's a dog. No riddling. Would he talk to you?
Would he talk to you?
Sure, yeah, he could talk to me. Sure,
Great.
Why not?
That's
If we're
great.
playing
I love
Magic.
it.
Why not?
That should be a
We're
movie.
suspending our disbelief.
Yeah, sure, why not? And
that's a good
I don't
one,
know.
though.
I don't want to go down the regret thing. It just gets too sad.
A solid pass. Fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's funny, my son asked me if I had a superpower, what would it be? And it would be to sleep on command. Anytime, and get 8 hours.
Yeah.
Right? But I've also come off a couple nights of bad sleep. I'm like, I just want to sleep. So I might be joining your library, your bed hotel, Leah.
Come on down.
Yeah.
She's your concierge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'll go.
Virginia,
I can't, I mean, I definitely know that my version of a library would be a record store. Yeah, like with some like albums, you know, all in a row, and you could kind of decide, because I feel like music goes with different phases of your life and different situations in your life, right? Like when you feel sad and morose, you know, you put on different music, or when you feel really happy, you put on something else. So yeah, and my husband a few years ago got me a record player, and it's been great. There's something like really tactile with putting on the record, and you almost hear like, anyway, it's been pretty great. So a regret, same kind of thing. I don't know, there isn't one, but I know that a million years ago, I was pretty good at a couple different sports, like, well, trampoline was one of them. And so that would have been cool to see where that ended up. Like if I didn't just quit it because I decided I was, just young and dumb and like, I'm just going to quit this now. So that would have been cool, kind of cool. Cause then when I trained with, I actually went to the Olympics. That's always a bucket list of mine, is to go to the Olympics. So that would have been cool to actually be in the Olympics, to see how far you could have taken it, but not really. It's not like I like, yeah. And it was weird. Like it was kind of odd back then, right? Like there wasn't a lot of, but it's not like I'm not losing sleep over that one, but, and
just jumping all the time.
Jumping.
That's
always crying. Keeping me up at night. Is thinking, I wish I
jumping on the bed, just jumping and crying.
You're in your backyard on a trampoline, and all your neighbors see is your like head popping up, and what are you doing in there?
Nice.
But I don't know who my librarian would be. That's the only thing I cannot.
That's the hardest one.
Yeah, right.
What about that Olympian woman that you trained with?
Or your coach?
She was same age as you, right? Yeah.
Oh, she was? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we can think about it for the fan episode. That's the hardest one, who the librarian is.
Yeah. I don't know.
I just thought of my guide. I just thought of it.
Okay, let's hear it, Kara. What's your guide?
Okay, can I start with my guide? Because it literally just, I totally would want Clarissa, Pinkola, Estés. For sure. Yeah. I didn't know that you knew her.
Who's that?
Well, no. Does it have to be someone that we know?
The women who runs with wolves.
Just take it. Just take it. That was the first book we did on the podcast.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah,
I read it twice.
Yeah. Women Who Run with the Wolves. Yeah.
Okay. I would definitely want her to be my guide. Although I don't know if she would fit. So my library would be like the stage, like the theater or the green room, you know, like just before you go on. And there would absolutely be a full assortment of like makeup, different shoes, costumes. I would want
maybe
different
it's your wardrobe.
Oh, for sure. I would want the different scenes, like scenery and props, all to be within that space. So it would just be like an imagination wet dream. It would be like every option imaginable. Whatever life you want to make for yourself, whatever person you want to become, you would have everything available for you. And maybe instead of books or like bottles of wine, it would be like scripts. That would be wonderful.
That's perfect.
I think that's my library. And then what other, am I missing any pieces?
Regret?
Like if you,
what life would you want to live? It doesn't have to be regret, just another life you might want to try out.
Yeah,
like I think I'm mostly like you guys. Right? Yeah, I think I'm mostly like you. It's more of a curiosity. I wonder what would, although I do feel myself gravitating back towards the theater. Like I know that it's a coming, I can feel it. I wonder what would have happened if I did things in the reverse order. If I had continued with the theater and gone that route, would the like psychotherapy and teaching components have met me?
Cool. Now my like used bookstore is super lame.
No, but that's why I wanted to go last too, because I was like, everybody else is going to make me think of other
all
things.
of them are great.
You can have the board game cafe if you want.
I do love
You're like, I
games.
regret that decision.
You can invite me there.
Or maybe Mare is like the board game cafe, but I still feel like, Kim, you're in a cafe-esque. Like I see people like, you know, reading the slow poems at night.
Tarot cards.
Like you have one of those like artisan cafes where there's like the different pop-up, like you can buy these handmade bracelets and then like this artist gets up on stage.
That's
not
right.
I think
but tarot's good.
She said a tarot card reading.
Tarot's good.
It would be really funny too, because like my grade 11 law teacher is not, as far as I could tell, esoteric in any way. Like he was very
well, that just makes it better.
Yeah, totally.
Tarot card reading?
Yeah, he's like, this. I don't know what this means.
He'd be like,
it's justice again.
Justice again. How do I ethically feel about this? Yeah.
Every kind of justice.
That's funny.
Meredith, maybe yours is like an amusement park like Canada's Wonderland, and each you go on a different ride.
I want that one.
Good
It'd
one,
be hard
Sarah.
though, because you'd only want to go on the big ones. You're like, that ride.
Yeah. You'd be like,
I'd be like, that one's lame.
Yeah.
We're gonna go to Canada's Wonderland and we're gonna leave the kids behind.
Oh, so then you're gonna do a true Canada's Wonderland.
We're gonna get the bracelets so we can pass the line.
VIP.
We did it once. We did it once before the family reunion. It was me and my husband and my brother. And we were like, okay, we're just going to go to Canada's Wonderland quickly on the way to the family reunion. We got the bracelets.
Quickly.
We got one open.
Is that possible?
Noon. We went on the biggest one, Leviathan. It was new. Like 15 times in a row, and found out that when you do that, it's like too much adrenaline at once. And so we were going to go again. But all of us were like, we're off the ride at this point. We're standing and we're so nauseous. We're like, I can't go on another ride. We got too excited. We wanted so many rides. So we're like, well, I guess we better leave now because everyone's going to throw up. And we had to drive to the family reunion. All of us were just like in the car the whole way for the rest of the day. I didn't know you could do that to yourself.
I didn't know that this was possible.
Oh yeah, you could do it after 3 times on the Gravitron at the carnival.
Oh, Gravitron though.
You will definitely vomit.
That's trap.
If you've enjoyed these video highlights, listen to the full episode on our YouTube channel or wherever you get your podcasts. Remember to like and subscribe, and ring that bell to be notified when new episodes are published. Find out more by going to www.bookinterrupted.com.
Never forget, every child matters.